Okay, XRP Army, there's a very, very important message that I have for you guys in this video. And I've always tried to kind of go through everything, all the news. And I came across a news article that definitely made me feel some type of way. And honestly, what it did is make me think about how important these next few months are. And I want to tell you guys why in this video, why the next few months are so crucial. And really, when we look into November, and there's a reason for that. It's because the election is coming up. And in most cases, I would say I'm not very political, right? But when it comes to my crypto bags, when it comes to XRP and how things are looked at from a regulation standpoint, I guess I lean one way or the other. And I really lean whoever's going to help pump my bags and make crypto flourish in the United States. And I want to give you guys the backstory a little bit, give you guys some details and some context around this, and get into a conversation why the next few months are so crucial for XRP and what happens here. Because while this is amazing, Ripple got past the SEC, they're going to pay this $125 million fine. What happens next is actually the most important thing we have to watch. Because now we need a precedent set. The hope is that this provides us some guardrails for the future of crypto and the future of what crypto looks like from a regulation standpoint moving forward. And really what we're talking about is everything that's not Bitcoin, right? At the end of the day. So there's a recent article done by Fortune Crypto. The headline reads, and let me explain to you guys, and I'm gonna give you some highlights of this article, and then we'll go into why I made this video really. The headline reads, Ripple hails major win against the SEC, but looming appeal means celebration may be premature. So I initially looked at this and I was like, hey, they're fudding our bags, and they still kind of are, but there is something here that I think is important to note. So they go through kind of the whole backstory, exactly, what Ripple has to do, pay $125 million, all of this kind of stuff, right? But this partner at Mayer Brown and co-leader of the law firm's FinTech and blockchain practice groups, his name's Joe Castelluccio. Okay, he said the immediate decision by Judge Torres on balance is very positive for Ripple. So he does start out by saying, hey, this is, you're hard pressed to say that this is not a win for XRP and Ripple, but he thinks there's something bigger here that needs to happen. So Ripple's carved out obviously a massive position in the markets. We know that since 2012. They've been building in the crypto sector. They've been around a long time. And that's why the XRP Army is so freaking strong. It's why all of you are so freaking passionate about what is being built here, because you guys believe in it. And so do I. And these last 4 years have been brutal, right? So this is a huge win, okay? No matter what. By the way, if you haven't smashed the like button, definitely do so. Consider subscribing to the channel. But they talked about kind of the backstory, how we got there. Then they said a penalty and an injunction. While it's a common for government attorneys to ask for greater penalties that are ultimately enforced, Torres's final figure of $125 million is much closer to Ripple's ask than what the SEC requested. So he said this, the same person I just referenced. Anyone is going to spin things their own way, but it's hard not to see it as a win for Ripple, said the former SEC attorney now working in crypto law, who spoke with Fortune on the condition of anonymity. Okay. And it goes on to say, in her decision, Torres's decision, she points to Ripple's, quote, willingness to push the boundaries of the law after the SEC filed its initial lawsuit, arguing that there's a likelihood the company will eventually cross the line again. So it says here, despite the financial win, Torres also imposed an injunction against Ripple, ordering the company to refrain from further violations of securities laws. But here's the issue. We don't know, and Ripple didn't even know, that they breached securities laws because we don't have guardrails set up yet. We don't have exactly in fine print what it is that's going to be deemed a security and what's not. Are we going to use the Howey test still? So here's what I really want to talk about. These next several months are very important because these guardrails need to be put in place in order for Ripple to know exactly how to operate. And not just Ripple, but every other crypto company, every other crypto project looking to do something big in the space. You have to know what the do's and don'ts are. And this is why I think in the next several months, it's going to be very important. Why? Because we have a U.S. election coming up this November. Whoever gets in place, I don't really care, honestly, at the end of the day, I don't really care who it is. I lean one way or the other, a little bit right now. I lean toward Trump, and it's not to say I'm a huge Trumper or anything like that. I'm going to figure out a way to make it in crypto and make it in my business regardless of who's president. I don't think you can get too bogged down in this because it can mess you up. But at the end of the day, all I know is whoever gets in here, and I want this person who's going to do this to get in, they need to set a precedent, a real precedent, putting full guidelines on not just what Bitcoin is and not just put Bitcoin, as a, reserve currency in the United States, which I think is a great idea, but what is a security and what's not? How are we going to look at this from the digital asset perspective to ensure that Ripple doesn't find itself in another lawsuit at some point down the line? Because you know what? They want to keep this thing obscure so they can continue to rule with an iron fist. Well, whoever gets into office here needs to do something to set a full plan in place. This is how we're going to look at digital assets moving forward. And I really hope this happens. Now, again, this is taking nothing away from Ripple's victory, right? But it is an interesting point when I read this article, because initially I was like, oh, this is just FUD. But no, it's actually a big deal because they're talking about, the future of Ripple and the future of crypto. Because despite this win, there is still an injunction that has been imposed by Torres against Ripple, ordering the company to refrain from further violations of securities laws. But what does that actually mean? What does it actually look like when it comes to crypto, when it comes to blockchain, when it comes to digital assets? We don't really have a finite answer just yet, and we need something in place. The United States has always been a place for innovation. It has always been a place for entrepreneurs. It has always been a place for startup businesses to flourish. The digital asset space is not going anywhere. And we can't continue to use these archaic ways of thinking and ways of doing things like the Howey test in order to look at a space that is completely revolutionizing the finance industry. And in particular, that's exactly what Ripple, the company, is doing. So these next several months are going to be very crucial, very important to see who gets in place and to see if they put something like this that we had discussed in action. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Check out all the links down below. If you're interested in trading with me over on Margex, that is a great platform, leverage trading platform. I got BitUnex as well as my spot trading platform along with Bybit. And XT Algo is my trading indicator, guys. My trading indicator is as good as it gets. It is one of the best on the market, cheapest price points, huge discount code, link down below for a little over $1 a day. Links down below to XT Algo. I appreciate each and every one of you guys more than you know for watching these videos. It really does mean a lot to me, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.